Thursday. It's 3:08, and it's time for you to be adrenalized. That's right, folks. It's time to get that blood flowing and get re-energized. Why? Because you're here, you're alive, and it's time to be the best version of yourself. Hello, everyone. This is Tom Marino, host of The Tom Marino Show, success strategy coach. Welcome to today's show. It is a beautiful Thursday right before 4th of July weekend, and I have two very special friends in the studio with me today, and I'll introduce you to them in a second. Before we get started, I want to thank Newhouse Restoration, our sponsor, for sponsoring today's show. They turn your damaged old house into a new house. Visit them at newhouserestoration.com. That's newhouserestoration.com. If you've had a fire, flood, sewer backup, or asbestos damage, contact Newhouse Restoration. Call them at 631-604-8590. That's 631-604-8590. And I also know they're doing some power washing these days. So if you need your house power washed, give them a call, 631-604-8590. Tell Josh and Kristen that Tom Marino sent you, and they will take care of you and treat you like family, that's for sure. All right, well, we've got an exciting show today. I'm very excited because today we're going to try something new. We have a new experience that we're going to be putting out there today. And I have two people who have been on my show before. So Sarah LaValle and Alycia Bender are both here in the studio. Hello, ladies.
Hey, Tom.
How is everybody going? How's everything going? How's everybody doing today?
Everything's great.
Yeah, the weather's nice.
The weather is nice, isn't it? It's wonderful out there.
Yeah.
And it's just so great to, it's summertime, right? It's summertime. It's time to relax a little bit. It's time to have some fun. But we got a lot of stuff going on in the world, right?
Yeah.
We have so many things going on. But before we get started, I want to congratulate Alycia. Her and her mom are doing a show right here on 103.9 LA News Radio on Tuesday afternoons at 4:30.
Yeah.
How's everything going with that?
I love it. It's so fun. It's different. And it's a different way that my mom and I can bond together.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and I had your brother on last week, and he did
Yes.
an amazing job. He was great. It was great to have him in the studio.
Yeah.
I tell you, you guys, the two of you, between the two of them, I mean,
Yes.
Sarah, they are just tremendous people and so incredible. So, all right. So we're going to have a conversation today, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things. And, one of the things that I did want to talk about is how things are going in your businesses, what's going on, what are the challenges you're having right now. I know, Alycia, right before the show, you had an unhappy customer call in.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
how are things going? How's life?
I think people are a little on edge more than normal. And as far as that goes, if a client comes in and yells at the staff, it's not really the staff's fault. I'm the one who put the policy into place. So yell at me. Don't yell at the 20-year-old who is just doing what they are told.
Right.
And that's anywhere you go.
Absolutely.
You're yelling at the wrong person.
Yeah. Are you seeing that, Sarah? How are your clients behaving?
My clients are great, honestly. I love
Good.
them all. Yeah, no issues with them. But
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So just to remind everybody, because they may not remember, but Alycia is an insurance broker and also the owner of Beauty and Chic Boutique in
Yes.
Patchogue.
Yeah.
And Sarah is the owner of Simple Sweet Sites, and she does website development for small businesses and solopreneurs. So, just if you need any of those services, you have any questions about those services, you want to call in, give us a call at 631-451-1039, 631-451-1039. And Alycia, you brought up a very good point. Everybody seems to be very stressed right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fear in the world, and it's really getting to be out of control. I was thinking about it this morning, and I don't want to get controversial, and I don't want to be this is not a political show by any nature. This is about self-improvement. This is about developing yourself, and this is about dealing with the struggles that life throws at us, right? And I was thinking about it this morning. We are approaching Independence Day. Monday is Independence Day. It's our 4th of July. It's the day that so many people fought for independence, to be the United States of America. And I just feel like we are the divided states of America these days.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts on what's going on in the world?
it just seems to be so back to back with being attacked with different topics that are dividing us as a nation. It seems to be a little intentional, even though if that's my conspiracy theory, everything that they do, there's always a black and white, there's always a one side or the other side, and we know nothing is black and white, and that's kind of what they're throwing at us, which of course is going to create an argumentative topic.
Right.
And people are going to get upset and fired up. So that's what I'm really noticing big time happening recently.
Right. And even, everyone is so on edge. Even, I go to kickboxing every morning at 6 a.m. And I'm driving down Sunrise Highway and I'm driving 70, which is already above. And this happened last week, and there was a car behind me beeping at me, honking at me. He came around me, mind you, it's like 5:30 in the morning, honking at me, just being so mean. And there's 2 other empty lanes. I feel like traffic and anger is crazy. Everyone is just so on edge because of so many things. And even Facebook fights with family. Like it's like kind of what Sarah said. There was always 2 different sides about everything. Everyone's always allowed to have an opinion, but now it's like you share your opinion, you're either shunned or exiled from your family. It's at a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, I had mentioned, and I'm glad I did this a couple of weeks ago. I did a whole show on trauma, right? And how we see trauma manifest in our everyday lives. And one of the things being someone who's standing online at a grocery store, and all of a sudden they're upset and they're yelling, they're pacing, they're getting agitated. And to everybody else, it's like, oh, that person's losing their stuff. But it's not that they're losing their stuff. They are feeling disrespected because they've been a victim of trauma in some way. What happened last week in the United States with the overturn of Roe versus Wade has triggered a lot of trauma for people. And it's really hurting people. It is hurting the women in this country. It is hurting the men who are pro-women in this country. It is hurting our society. And we just keep bringing on more and more suffering. Why do we do this? Why do we do it? I don't understand it.
Right.
But to your point, Alycia, what you saw earlier today, with somebody taking it out on somebody else over something very small and minuscule of an issue.
Right.
It was out of control.
Right. And it all goes back to, we never know what anybody is going through, is feeling. So how you bring up the trauma and how this whole thing was overturned, it's bringing up past trauma for people. So maybe someone who agrees with it or whatever the case is, you're bringing out trauma for other people that have actually lived through it and felt those emotions.
Right. And I think that's the thing that we blatantly forget about. Like there is so many other sides to the coin.
Right.
And Sarah, you brought that up before. It's not a black and white issue. There's so many shades of gray. As a clinician myself, as a former practicing physician assistant, it's a health issue. It is now a healthcare issue. Because I was watching TikTok yesterday. I was scrolling through. I've become accustomed to TikTok.
I love that.
It's taken me a while. I've only posted 2 things, but we're getting there. But the bottom line is that when I was scrolling through, there was this woman in Tennessee who was having difficulty even getting her birth control already.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they were refusing. And she has a medical condition. She has a coagulation issue. So she forms blood clots naturally without stuff. And God forbid she got pregnant, which pregnancy is what we call a hypercoagulable state. She could die.
Right.
Because she got pregnant, because she can form a clot and she could die. She could get a pulmonary embolism and die.
Right.
And she's having difficulty getting something that is essential for her life. And I see it said it's already started.
Yeah.
It's already started. So
even when people couldn't find the formula, it's just scary.
Right.
Across the entire board, and we're supposed to live in this safe environment, and it's, if it hasn't affected you yet, I mean, when is it going to stop? And what's the next thing that's going to be hard to get, you know?
Absolutely. So for those that are just tuning in, we're speaking with Alycia Bender and Sarah LaValle from Simple Sites and Insurance by Alycia. We're talking about some difficulties that we're experiencing in our world right now. We're going to continue our conversation after this commercial break, but check them out at Simple Sweet Sites on Instagram and Insurance with Alycia on Instagram. And also check me out at Tom Marino Coaching on Instagram. And hey, if you're a solopreneur, reach out to me at 516-588-0750. We'll talk to you right after this commercial break. Hey, this this is Tom Marino of the Tom Marino Show here. Imagine you wake up and you've had a major sewer backup in your home. Well, let me tell you about a company that I've worked with personally, New House Restoration, where they take your damaged old house and make it a new house. For any water, fire, mold, or asbestos damage, please call them at 631-604-8590. That's 631-604-8590. New House Restoration. And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Success Strategy Coach Tom Marino. Thank you so much for tuning back in. Happy Thursday before this beautiful 4th of July weekend that's coming up. I think we're only going to have a little bit of rain this weekend. Shouldn't be too bad, but I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited to start things going. We are live in the studio. If you have a question, you want to call in, you have an opinion, please give us a call at 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. We are speaking today with Alycia Bender from Insurance with Alycia and with Sarah LaValle from Simple Sweet Sites. Both of them have been on the show before. They're veterans now of the Tom Marino Show. They've been through this before. And Alycia, tune in on Tuesday afternoons at 4:30 to Alycia and her mom's show called We Cover It All.
Thank you.
What a great, clever title.
Do you know who came up with it?
Who came up with
Sarah.
that? Sarah came up with that. Sarah, that was brilliant.
She's brilliant.
Insurance, we cover it all.
She's so brilliant.
That is excellent. I love it. So you can't forget the name of that show. We covered it all Tuesdays at 4:30 right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. And hey, listen, make sure you're following LI News Radio on Instagram. We share a lot and promote a lot of our local businesses. We promote a lot of our shows on that channel. And Anthony does such a great job with the Instagram page. And make sure you're following that on Instagram if you're not already. We started the conversation today a little bit on a difficult note because of everything going on in our country and the impact that it has on people. And I mentioned before that it's really triggering a lot of people's trauma. It's triggering a lot of women who have either had an abortion. It's triggering women in general who feel like they are not in charge of their life. They're in relationships where they may have escaped domestic violence. They're in relationships where they felt oppressed. They're in relationships where their independence was taken away. And here we go again, going back 50 years. The conservatives will say it's progress and the liberals will say it's regression. So there's really no happy medium to it. The bottom line is that we are in a very challenging time and we just keep coming up with more things that we are making ourselves suffer through. So my question for the two of you is one, listen, you're both women. That's very important that we promote and are pro women and support women and women's independence and the right to choose and all of that. And at the end of the day, how are you guys processing all of this stuff, being business owners, right? We talked about the upset client, but how are you processing this and how are you dealing with it on a regular basis, Sarah? How is that?
Yeah, so I know for me personally, like what I would do in that situation, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's really the topic of the right to choose. And like we were saying earlier, it is such a large gray area where even medical issues are getting involved. And that's where I become conflicted because I'm like, wow, for some of these women, like it really is life or death. And that aspect is very scary. So of course, the bigger triggering as well is the right to choose to be taken away. And that is, again, taking us back how many years?
Is it stressing you out? Is it making you fearful? What's like your predominant emotion?
I think it's the bigger picture that's making me a little scared, because it's just a catalyst for all these other things that are happening in this country. And so it's not just this one topic, it's all of them combined. And just the fact that the freedoms are at stake right now, it just shows what power we kind of don't have. They're proving that, and at the end of the day, it's really not up to us. And even though this is supposed to be a democracy, you know what I mean? Like that's where it's like, okay, well, is this just an illusion we've been living in this whole time? And really, ultimately, if they want something to go through or not go through, that's what's going to happen. It's not really us that has the final say. So that's where it's pretty scary.
Yeah. You're pointing out a really good thing about the locus of control, right? That control is very externally oriented right now, and we only have control over what we decide and what we're going to do. And I think that's the thing. We have to continue to keep making progress in our own lives, right? Alycia, how are you dealing with all of this stuff?
Right. Like what Sarah said, it's so much bigger. It's having the right to do what you want to your body. At the end of the day, you're living in your body and you need to come up with those decisions yourself. As far as personally, I have a couple best friends that are pregnant, and they're my best friends for years and years. So I'm more sad for them and what they're going through and what, like we said earlier, they have to relive the trauma. So it's just more upsetting and kind of when is it gonna end? And like I had said, on Facebook, you see fights and family members and colleagues and everyone's fighting. And at the end of the day, do we even have a say? And does that Facebook post matter? I know people that ruin their whole day because person said XYZ and the other person says ABC and now they're going off all day because there's a disagreement on social media when
and that's the thing that's bothering me the most is this continued division. We are dividing ourselves constantly. It's like, can't we just work together?
Yeah, it's a lack of compassion. That is a disease right now.
Exactly. It's lack of compassion. I love it. And you're right. It is a lack of compassion. And that's, when I was talking about on the trauma episode about trauma and what we need to do, we need to be more compassionate to each other. Everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their beliefs. Everybody's entitled to those beliefs. That's what's in the Constitution. We're supposed to have these beliefs. But when you take away somebody's right to do something, you're really making it very difficult for people.
Right.
And it's a struggle, and it makes things much more difficult. And listen, at the end of the day, you have to look at it from whatever perspective it is for you. I look at it as a parent, right? I have a daughter. I have a wife. God forbid anything ever happened to them, violent rape, whatever happened, and they were pregnant. I don't know if I should have any say in that decision. That is their decision. That is not my decision. And I think that changes too for a lot of, one of the parents we were talking to, she was saying, this is really going to impact where my kid goes to college. Because if she's going to go to a state where it's outlawed, where it's illegal, and she's not going to be able to get to a state that is safe, that's going to be a problem for her. And I don't want her to have to be faced with that extra decision of, oh my God, I'm pregnant, but no, I can't. And I'm moving forward. Like, it just is changing a lot of perspectives.
Right.
But again, we have so many other issues in this country to deal with.
Yeah.
I was looking at some data, and I'll just throw out these stats just for example. There are 400,000 children in foster care on average on a daily basis. 400,000 children. 30% of homelessness resides with homeless families and children. Homeless families make up 30% of the homeless population. 400,000 kids are in foster care every day. Okay? There's just under 1 million of abortions that were performed in, I think it was 2020 or 2021. I can't remember the exact. And you know what? The thing that really struck me? 60% of abortions were performed, were conducted on women who had already given birth and had another child.
Wow.
60%. And 80-something percent, it was in the high 80s, 80-something percent were women over the age of 20. Only 9.3% were women under 20, teenagers.
Wow.
So it's like, look at the data, understand the facts, understand the data, understand what the data is telling you, and just ruminate over that. So here's my thing. Let's be compassionate. Let's be compassionate to the people that really need compassion right now. Women, victims of trauma, homeless people, children in foster care. Let's do something to help those lives, because those are lives that are here that we need to take care of.
Yes.
And we're not. And that's the sad thing. So practice compassion. Anything you want to add to that? And then we're going to wrap this up and get into more fun stuff, because this is a topic that I did want to talk about, and I think it's important to talk about. But anything you want to say?
Right.
Fight hate with love.
Fight hate with love. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. No one knows what anybody is going through, and everyone is so mean these days.
Right. Well, there's this thing called charitable assumption. When you make an assumption about someone, make it charitable until you have the facts.
Right.
And until you have the facts, you can't assume that you know everything going on for those people. All right, so this is Tom Marino and the Tom Marino Show, and we have Alycia and Sarah in the studio with us today. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but give us a call, 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. And we'll talk to you after this break. And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Success Strategy Coach Tom Marino. Thank you so much for tuning back in on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. It is gorgeous outside right now, and I am so excited for the 4th of July weekend, even though I have a baseball tournament all weekend. I'm not playing. My son is playing. I don't play. My son is the athlete, not me. But yeah, we'll be going back and forth coming out here to Yaphank and going to baseball heaven and Brentwood State Park. We have 2 games there this weekend, so that'll be some fun. But today we've been talking about, we started the show, really the first 2 segments talking about the Roe versus Wade and the impact on people's wellness and the impact on people's mental health and the importance really of demonstrating compassion. And we really need to all start to take care of each other. We need to be compassionate with each other. We need to be patient with each other. And we need to stop dividing our country. It is such a beautiful country to live in. We've fought for so many freedoms. There's been so much progress. Things like this make us feel like we're not making progress. But the key is that no matter what you're doing right now, no matter what you're working on, I want you to know you can make progress. Continue to make the progress in your own life. Don't let these obstacles derail you. Don't let your emotions be consumed by what's going on externally from you. You control what you decide to consume versus what you don't. And that's up to you. So don't take things on that you have no business taking on. Only focus on your issues and what you need to work on to be the best version of yourself so you can be that compassionate person. So we've been talking with Sarah LaValle and Alycia Bender, Simple Sweet Sites and Insurance with Alycia on Instagram. And ladies, I heard you had some questions for me. Yes. Today was about us having a conversation, having general conversation, having some conversation about your businesses. So who wants to shoot first? I'm always asking the questions. So ask me a question for a change.
Switch it up today.
Yeah, flipping the switch. So I'll go first. So tomorrow is actually my 1-year anniversary of going into insurance with Alycia full-time for myself.
Fantastic.
And that's ironic. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent.
So my question is, I, 24 years old, I was making great money working full-time for an employer who was my mom, but it was still a full-time position. Mm-hmm. And I had decided, you know what? I don't want to work for somebody. I want to be able to make the calls. I want to work when I want to work. What advice would you give somebody? Because I know so many people that are miserable in their 9 to 5s, and in their heart, they know they want to start something.
Right.
And they either don't know how or they're scared. And I, speaking from experience, making great money, a 24-year-old to 0 and having to build up commission and working off of sales and really having to put my heart and soul into it, it was scary. And sometimes fear will cause people not to do what they want to do, but life's too short. So what would you tell someone who's listening how to go about making the jump?
I think the most important thing is to first decide what you want to do and why you want to do it, right? What is it that you really want to do? And you have to understand, being a business owner, and Adam Hurd and I actually had a conversation about this morning. When you're a business owner, it has to be you, your family, your business, and then your family, right? And you got to figure out the ways to integrate your family life into your business life. And you have to make sacrifices, and it comes with sacrifice. That's number one. But that doesn't mean it's impossible, right? If you're in a job right now that you absolutely do not love, that you are struggling through, there's a lot of lessons to be learned in that. And first thing I always tell people is what's the lesson to be learned, right? What do you want to learn from this experience? The next thing that I tell people to do is what do you love to do? Because a lot of people have these ideas, but they don't know how to make a business.
Right.
They don't know. They never worked either of you, were you ever in a leadership role in an organization, right? In a corporate organization? A lot of people don't have that experience.
Right.
Right. But that doesn't mean you can't run a business, right? And that's what people like me are here for and to help. I love helping solopreneurs and entrepreneurs to figure that out. And actually in September, thanks for the setup, Alycia.
You're welcome.
In September, I am actually going to be starting a Mind Your Own Business group coaching experience. And in Mind Your Own Business, it's going to be a 12-week program where you learn soup to nuts what to do to start a business and get a business going. So what I would advise people to do is reach out to me, go to my website, fill out a contact form, say you're interested in the Mind Your Own Business, DM me on Instagram, text me at 516-588-0750, and come and be part of that group coaching, because I will show you everything that you need to know from soup to nuts. And I'm bringing experts like insurance with Alycia, like Simple Sweet Sites with Sarah LaValle, to help people build their business, their presence online, to protect the business that they're going to build.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something that we're going to be working on.
That's so awesome. And it's nice because you did it. And
Right.
people want to learn from someone who walked the walk and talked the talk. So it's awesome that you're doing that. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And I love the question that you asked, because there are so many people out there that want freedom, right? A lot of people are in jobs that they don't like. But a lot of people think that becoming a business owner, they're going to get the life that they want.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the case. The life you imagine and the life you want is not what you get is not always the same thing. So the thing is that you really need to go through a process of discernment and really understand what it is that you want.
Right.
And why you want it. And then are you passionate? Because mostly, what are business owners? They're passionate people.
Because you're going to work more for yourself than your 9 to 5. You're putting in way more hours working for yourself.
Right.
And people don't realize that.
There is no clock.
No.
You're on the clock all the time.
Yes.
Time does not exist. You have all the time for your business.
But it's the best because you're doing what you love.
Exactly.
So you're happy.
Exactly. And the key is when you're doing what you love, even though you're doing what you love at times, you still have the normal stressors like you guys experienced. You have the normal stressors that come with all of it. Mm-hmm. So did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Sarah,
thank you.
You got a question?
Yeah, I do. So healthy ways to cope with stress. And the reason I want to talk about stress is because people who experience anxiety, that's a really popular topic right now. And for some reason, everyone seems to be anxious.
Yes, everybody's anxious these days.
And stressed out to the point, though, of debilitation. And it's actually stopping them from moving forward. So like for me, if yoga was not in my life, I don't know what I would have done. So other ways too, besides that.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think one of the things that we have to emphasize is self-care. We have to have a self-care regimen. And like I talked about when Alycia was on, self-care is an insurance policy on yourself. You've got to put in a premium. You've got to put in the time. And like Adam and I talked about this morning, it's self first, then business and family. You have to take care of yourself first. Because if you don't take care of yourself first, you're not going to have a business. You're not going to have a family because you're going to ostracize everybody and you're going to be the walking dead, literally, the walking dead. So self-care regimens, I say, are things that you should want to do, things that you enjoy doing, right? For you, it's yoga. What do you do, Alycia, for self-care?
I do kickboxing.
Kickboxing, awesome. Exercise.
Yes.
Listening to music. Watching pointless comedy on television.
Yes.
Doing something that gives you a break from thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Even sometimes saying no.
Saying no.
If you don't want to do something, so many people feel the need they have to go to this event.
Right.
If you need a night home to take a bubble bath and watch your favorite Netflix series, just do that.
Exactly.
And not worrying about
the
reaction's going to be.
Yes.
Because some people might get upset, but that's just a lack of respect of your boundaries, and that's a them problem, not a you problem.
Yes.
That's right. It's a them problem, not a you problem. And that's the other thing. Don't consume other people's problems, right? You've got enough of your own crap. You should not be consuming anybody else's crap because that's the boundary of self-care, right? I'm willing to listen to what you have to say, but I'm not willing to take it on. Right. And that's the thing that people often do. They take on other people's stresses and they don't ever deal with their stuff.
Yep.
And they think that worrying about somebody is caring about somebody. And that's not necessarily the case.
It's sometimes also a distraction from their own thing.
Exactly. And it's in a way to avoid working on what they need to work on. So basically anything that makes you happy, that's enjoyable, and that is brainless, where you don't really have to think about it. That's the type of regimen that you really need to build for yourself and practice that on a regular basis. All right, so we've been talking with Sarah and Alycia, and we'll be back after the commercial break, and we'll continue our conversation. Maybe they have some more questions for me. Maybe they don't. I don't know. We'll see. They promised to surprise me, so I didn't know about any of these questions beforehand. So I'm excited to get to more after this break. All right, we'll talk to you right after this. Hey, this is Tom Marino of The Tom Marino Show here. Imagine you wake up and you've had a major sewer backup in your home. Well, let me tell you about a company that I've worked with personally, New House Restoration, where they take your damaged old house and make it a new house. For any water, fire, mold, or asbestos damage, please call them at 631-604-8590. That's 631-604-8590. New House Restoration. And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Success Strategy Coach Tom Marino. Thank you so much for tuning back in. Oh, what an awesome day we've had here. We've covered some powerful topics. We've covered some really good self-care topics. And, we've talked a little bit about business owners, people that want to start their own business. Come check us out. Go visit tommarino.com and fill out a contact form, or give me a call at 516-588-0750. So at the last part of the show, we were talking about self-care. And, I was thinking during the break too, like just being creative. Sometimes activating the other part of your brain is another great way for self-care. You guys do anything for like creatively for self-care?
It's ironic. So, Tom, I love what I do for work, my industry. So I genuinely like making content for my Instagram. I like going on Canva, and me and Sarah designed a logo together for fun. That was fun, right?
That was so fun.
We did it together. We were on FaceTime, and because on Canva you can do dual. We can work on the same thing together. And that was fun.
That's awesome.
She had a canvas on top, I had a canvas on bottom, and we were like working together.
Oh, that's really cool.
And we made a logo, in 15 minutes?
I was like, we got to start some type of series. Let's build you a logo in 15 minutes. It was fun.
That's awesome. And you guys are doing some other stuff too. We all met through Long Island Networkers, which anybody out there that's a small business owner wants to be part of a great network, Long Island Networkers, follow them on Instagram. But you guys also started something for women, correct? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's Boss Girls Club Long Island. And the reason we started it is, there's so many networking groups out there that are more transactional over relationship based. And networking is scary in itself for people that are not used to it. It is a positive, open environment where, you come in. We always will have fun drinks, appetizers, something for everybody. And I make it a point to go up to every single person, introduce myself. There's no going around the room, giving your 10-minute spiel. It's just open and lax, because at the end of the day, you're going to do business with people that you like, not who you feel that you need to. And it's just an open community to help everybody.
That's awesome. And it's for women business owners.
It originally started as women business owners, but also there's people out there that want to start a business and don't know how to, or they need that encouragement. Or maybe you just don't have that many positive friends and you want to be around positive, like-minded people. Come on down. It's for everybody.
That's awesome. And how can people reach you to join?
So our website is www.bossgirlsclubli.com. And we're on Instagram.
BossGirlsClubLI.com. BossGirlsClubLI.com.
Yeah.
Alycia, you manage to make me tongue twist all the time.
I like to test
Beauty
you.
and Chic Boutique. BossGirlsLI.com.
Yeah, I have to keep you on your toes, Tom.
BossGirlsClubLI.com. Yes. All right. So, while we're here with you, Sarah, you are the owner of Simple Sweet Sites. So tell everybody a little bit about what you do.
So Simple Sweet Sites is a website design firm where we service small businesses. So I wanted to bridge the gap in the industry to make websites affordable, because when you think of a website, you assume it's going to be a $5,000 and up investment. And as either a new business owner or even just any small business, your margin might not be there to invest in something, but you still deserve a quality online presence. And so I have found out a way to keep it affordable while still making it an extremely high quality product. It's branded, it's custom, and we get straight to the point. So it's called Simple Sweet Sites for a reason. It's simple, easy to navigate. You want to make sure all the information is there, but it's not too wordy. So all of those elements, and simple as well regarding content creation, because another stressful part of putting a website together is the business owner will assume, oh my gosh, I have to prepare all of this stuff for them. I don't have time for this. So what I try to tell people is, if you're going to delegate a project like this, you should be delegating it. And so I created a proprietary process with my own form that I have the business owner fill out that makes gathering that content easy. It prompts them to give me the information that I need. I have a quick brainstorming session with them, 20 to 30 minutes. They give me photos, videos, whatever they have. If they don't have those things, I now have packages to help them gather it. And then from there, I take the reins. So it's I try to make it as stress-free as possible because you should be doing what you do best, which is running your business.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And you do a great job.
Thank you.
I've seen some of your websites. They're incredible. They're so well done.
Thank you.
And, when you tell me the cost, I'm like, holy cow, people are getting a bargain, but they're getting high quality.
Yes.
It's great stuff. So great job with that.
Thank you so much.
So Alycia, the entrepreneur in the room, the true entrepreneur, multiple businesses. Tell everybody what you do.
So I own a boutique in Patchogue, Beauty and Chic Boutique. It's right on 112. So it's your nail salon. We sell clothes, makeup, skincare. It's truly a one-stop shop to feel beautiful. So I love that.
Awesome.
And then I'm an insurance broker. So many people hate insurance. They don't understand insurance. And why should they? They're not the professional in the industry. So I try to make it a seamless, educational, smooth process because at the end of the day, you want adequate coverage in the event of a claim. Nobody likes to find out that they had no coverage when something happens.
Yep.
So I take the time, I shop a bunch of different companies, I find the perfect fit for you, I make sure you're happy, and at the end of the day, I want you to understand what you're buying.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And you have a clothing line too at the boutique.
At the boutique, yeah. So we sell clothes, so I curate that myself.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I tell you, the two of you, you're flying off over here.
And it's funny, we talk a lot during the day on the phone, and every conversation is different, and we always just pick up with what we're talking about, and our days are just crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I love when you have a connection to somebody and you're able to really connect energetically, and it makes you a better person. It makes you more motivated. And, and that's something that I feel like we're missing in the world right now.
Yeah.
Is that energetic connection to really be positive and I don't want to take away from all of us that are trying to be positive, but we've got to stop being negative. I mean,
well, we are all humans and we're all so similar. So it's really trying to find that commonality with people around you rather than nitpicking what is different and what you don't like, because we all relate more than we realize. So I really do feel like we take advantage of that big time.
Of course.
We connect. Yeah.
We connect. Yeah.
We build each other up, positive or negative. If we're feeling it or we're going through something, we help each other through it. It's really beautiful.
Right.
Well, I think that's the whole point of it is definitely making sure that we do everything that we can to continue to be as positive, to keep making progress, keep doing what we need to do for ourselves, and and help others that are in need, but be compassionate, do more of that, and really make a big difference that way. So how can people reach you, Sarah, for Simple Sweet Sites?
So my Instagram is Simple Sweet Sites, SWEET. And that's also my website, so simplesweetsites.com. So you can actually book an appointment right on the website on the contact page. There's also a portfolio page with over 40 examples of live sites that I've done in the past. So there's dual purpose for that. So those are the two easiest ways. You can also email me, but
simplesweetsites.com. I love it.
Yep.
Alycia?
So you can visit my website at www.insurancewithalycia.com, or you can give me a call at 631-456-4306 for a complimentary quote.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
It was great to have you in studio. I think this was fun, having a conversation, not having just no real agenda.
Right.
I mean, we really didn't plan anything. It was impromptu, a lot of the conversation, and it was really fun to do that for a change.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. I have Raquel on next week.
Oh, perfect.
So Raquel's going to talk all about yoga.
Yes.
And I can't wait to have her on. So that'll be a really great episode. So everybody tune in next week, next Thursday, the 7th at 3 o'clock on LI News Radio right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. You can go to linewsradio.com to listen live if you want. And also don't forget, check out Alycia and her mom on We Cover It All at 4:30 on Tuesdays right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. So listen, if you are a solopreneur, a business owner, and you are struggling with burnout, stress, and you want me to relieve that for you and help you to grow your business and scale your profits, then give me a call, text me at 516-588-0750. That's 516-588-0750. And listen, while you're out there this weekend, do something nice for someone, be compassionate, spread a little kindness, be patient, and make sure that you remember that you control yourself. You control how much you consume and you take on. get to do something fun this weekend. And until next time, this is Tom Marino saying choose your adrenalized life.
Talking this and that.